What's up, you guys? So I'm back here with a brand new video. I'm very excited to be making this video, and today I want to do something along the lines of helping you guys out there when you're delivering to not get scammed, ripped off, or anything like that. And I've told you guys previously in a video that I made a while back how I got scammed, but I'll be going over it with you guys again so I can tell you guys the full story. If you haven't heard it yet, you're gonna be hearing it for the first time. If you heard it already, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be telling you again. And I really like making these videos, helping you guys out, because I like hearing what you guys have to say. I like knowing that at least one of you out there gets some help from my advice, my tips, and my tricks, or even my opinion. So for that matter, it really makes me feel good about making these types of videos. So if you guys like the video, also remember to smash that like, comment down below, subscribe for more if you're not subscribed already. Click that bell notification so you get all the notifications when I post my new videos. And without further ado, let's get into today's video. So like I said, I'm going to be making a video today about how not to get scammed while doing DoorDash, Grubhub, or Uber Eats. And I'll start off by telling you guys the story on how I got scammed. So what I believe happened is, from the beginning, this is obviously what happened. I get a delivery through Postmates, I believe it was, telling me to go to Del Taco. So I went to Del Taco, picked it up. When I picked it up, I noticed that the order was only one taco from Del Taco, and like that should have been a red flag immediately for me. But I was having an off day, I was tired that day, I wasn't fully sharp, you know, like I normally am. So there's one factor, I was already kind of out of it. I should have known better when it was just one taco for the order, but I went ahead and picked it up anyways because it was gonna be a decent pay for how far I had to go, so decent pay per mileage. So it gave me a hotel locally nearby that Del Taco, but it didn't give me the room number. And I went to the hotel and I'm sitting out front calling the customer, they're not answering, calling, they're not answering. I text them and I said, hey, what's the room number? Please give me the room number, you didn't leave it for me. And I get this phone call after like a few times trying to contact the customer. I get a phone call claiming that they are from driver support and they're gonna help me with my current delivery. And there's another red flag. You never get a call saying that I see that you're having trouble on this order, because that's what the guy said to me. So keep in mind, guys, I was out of it this day. I got ripped off. When the days that you get scammed, obviously you're not on top of your game, and you live and you learn. So I want to just put that out there. When those type of things happen, it really embeds into you what to look out for. So this is the first time it's happened to me. So anyways, they called me saying, I see that you're having trouble with this order, and that's red flag already, because I didn't even tell support that I was having trouble with this order yet. And he tells me his name is the same name as one of my best friends, and I go, wow, that's interesting, you have the same name as one of my best friends. And he's like, oh, really? So another red flag is if they use a name that's in your life, they claim to be that person, or they claim to have that name. Again, I wasn't thinking straight this day, and he changes the subject to say, oh, by the way, this was mid-pandemic, and he says, by the way, have you gotten your COVID relief check yet, like payment yet? And I say, no, what is that? He's like, oh, well, Postmates is giving out blah, 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 COVID relief payments. Let's set you up with that since you haven't gotten it yet. I'm just gonna need to have you log into your account and change this and this, change your card information to the card information that we give you. And for some reason, I believed the person. I was like, okay, I guess, whatever. And call me whatever you want, roast me in the comments. I learned my lesson the hard way. I'm being honest with you guys because I feel like this is information that you guys should hear, you guys should know. So, like an idiot, I went into the Postmates and I changed the card information to what he told me, because he said, oh, after I do that, you're gonna have the extra money. And I was like, okay, seemed kind of weird, but I just went along with it. And in hindsight, I should have known better. I, you know, It's embarrassing, to be honest, but I'm telling you guys this so you don't ever have to go through this. Or even if you have gone through something like this, you can tell me in the comment section below, or you can tell me how stupid it was that I made this decision that day. But it is what it is. He convinced me because he said it was a COVID relief program that I was going to be getting paid for. All my weekly earnings after I did this, I put in the card information. I didn't get paid, obviously, and all my weekly earnings were just gone. So I was like stunned, and I was like, are you kidding me? I was so pissed, I was so upset. You guys can imagine how upsetting that would be. So funnily enough, I called the person that they told me used their name. I called that person that I know, and I was like, hey, this guy just called me saying that he had the same name as you, and I just got ripped off. So I told them the story. That friend of mine was nice enough to give me money. I didn't even ask. I was just telling him how upset I was and how annoyed and pissed off I was that there's scammers out there. Like, how low life do you have to be that you have to scam people to make a living? Like, just go work. Like, we're out here working. Anyways, that's a whole nother thing. He was nice enough to give me money. I didn't ask for it, and that's what happened. I got scammed. I got ripped off. It's a terrible story. But now I know, I've lived through it, I've learned through it, and I'm here to tell you that story and give you some advice that I have so it will never happen to you guys. So that experience, hopefully you got something out of that, because just hearing stories and experiences sometimes can help you if you ever get into this situation or a situation similar to that. So I'm gonna be looking at notes on my phone like I've been doing lately. And one thing I want to tell you guys is, if you know the location that is getting dropped off to is a sketchy location, then you might not want to accept the order in the first place, because if it's going to a sketchy location, it's not always going to be like a scam or anything, but just better to be safe than sorry. And there's a lot more deliveries and orders to go around, and usually the people that live in sketchier areas, in my experience, haven't tipped as well anyway, so I kind of just try to avoid those type of areas. I try to work in areas where I know there's money, where I know there's housing tracts, where I know there's, you know, just more money in those areas, basically. Another thing I want to let you guys know to be aware of, that I've said this previously, but I'll say it again. If the customer says, hand it to me, but then in the instructions, they say, leave it at my door, I always recommend hitting the text message button, taking a picture of it, telling them, hey, I'm leaving your order at the door like you requested. And then, you know, so there's a picture of the order in front of the address, and you just let them know, hey, I'm leaving your order here for you like you requested. Send the message. I always personally wait till the message actually goes through, and then I hit complete, which only takes a few seconds. It's just better to be safe than sorry in that sense as well. That way, if anything ever comes out that, oh, they didn't receive their order, you could say, look, I have proof, I sent them a message. There's no way that they didn't get their order. If they didn't get their order, at least I did my part and I dropped it off, and here's the proof. So you can't get scammed that way, because I heard about stories about people getting scammed where they say they never received their order even though they really did drop it off. So it's just another way to prove that you actually did the order and you dropped it off. Never listen to anybody that calls you, like I said in my story, never listen to anybody that calls you claiming to be from driver support or customer support from any platform that you're delivering on at the time. We probably all know this already, but I'll say it again because it's good to hear this again. They're never going to contact you asking for login information, card information, anything like that, anything of the sort. So if anybody calls you claiming to be from DoorDash, Grubhub, or Uber Eats, I would, you know, do what you want to do, but don't give them any information. Sometimes I like to try to mess with them, play along with it a little bit, but not give them any information just because I'm a dick like that. I'm sure some of you guys are too. But just hang up and call the platform that you're delivering for and say, hey, did you guys call me? Just like double check. And usually, more often than not, they're just gonna say, no, we never called you. Don't listen to them. It could be a scammer. So double check with the platform that you're delivering to make sure that they're not the ones who actually called you. Because I've only had one time in 10 years that they've called me because a customer was complaining. Like, this is another funny story. I picked up the person's order And within 2 minutes, I barely got to my car, the customer's calling support saying, "Where's the driver at? Where's the driver at?" So I think it was Uber Eats. They called me and they said, "Hey, the customer's wondering where you are." And I was like, "I just picked up their food. I'm on my way right now." So tell them to calm down. But that only happened to me one time in 10 years. So they're never gonna call you. If somebody calls you claiming to be from support, asking you for information, hang up, try to get done with that phone call, and you call support yourself just to make sure it's not really them. And just like in my story, if the item is one tiny little thing, let's say like it's just a side of French fries or it's one taco from Del Taco, that can be a red flag. And I'm not saying it's always a red flag, but just be aware of that if it's one small item like that, usually people don't order things that are like one tiny item through a delivery service like this. It's different when it's like coffee or drinks or anything, I would say, but if it's like from a restaurant and it's only one tiny thing and then the instructions are vague like they were for me, take that for example and try to do whatever you can to make sure you're not going to get scammed in that situation. That's always a red flag. And last but not least, if you ever feel like you're in a sketchy situation or a shady situation, we all know this already, but it really does help to hear it again. Just call support, driver support, tell them the situation that you're feeling. They're more often than not going to be able to help you out, and they want to help you out because you're the one that's doing the work for them and you're the backbone of the company. So I haven't ever really had any situations where driver support doesn't want to help me. Yes, it can be kind of annoying sometimes to call, I get that when you're having a busy day, but it's worth it so that you don't end up having to do something that you don't want to do or end up being in a sketchy situation. So always just call support if you feel like you're in a shady situation. It's just better that way so that you don't get ripped off, you don't have to do anything sketchy, anything of the sort. So there you have it, you guys. I told you the story that I think I've said previously in a video, but it's worth saying again. I don't know if I gave you guys every detail like I did just now, but there you have it. Those are my tips and tricks so you don't get scammed. I just want you guys to be safe out there. Hopefully this helps anybody out there that's new, or you've been doing this but you didn't know something I said or anything like that. Hopefully it helped you guys out. Remember guys, smash that like if you enjoyed this or got any helpful advice or anything like that from this video. Comment down below. I want to know what you guys have to say, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.